Well, this is a day I'll not soon forget. I've seen a few things in my time, but I've not flown on an eagle's back till today. Well, now that it's a bit easier to talk, let me thank you properly for saving our lives and bid you welcome to Nordinbad, our home. Nordri's father, the Lord Gorin, will want to speak with you. Nordri's gone ahead to report on the Gundabad raid and to tell him about everything you did for us.
Why did you need your warriors against Mount Gundabad?
We keep a careful watch on the orcs in the mountains. When we saw them gathering in large numbers at Gundabad, we had reason to believe they were preparing to move against us here. We didn't like our chances against that many orcs, but we knew about the hidden weapon at Gundabad. So Nordri and I led a small force there to use it against them.
What can you tell us of the device you used to collapse the ceiling at Gundabad? In all my long years of study, I have heard of nothing like it.
It was an ancient defense made by the dwarves who delved Gundabad long ago. Nobody understood the qualities of stone better than the dwarves of old, and they knew that just the right sound can cause solid stone to split. They used that knowledge to build a defense against any enemy who might force their way past the gates of their home.
But Mount Gundabad has been an orc hold for centuries. How did you know about this weapon?
Aye, it's been in the hands of the orcs for many a year, but not straight through. I was only a lad when my people fought a great war against the orcs, but my father helped sack Gundabad. He was one of the stoneworkers who found the weapon. It made a big impression on him, and he told me the tale so many times I was sure I could find the thing and use it against the orcs.
But how could you be certain it would still work after all those centuries?
We didn't. The whole thing was a gamble. Luckily it paid off.
Might I assume that you have such a defense here at Nordinbad?
Some things are best left secret, I think.
We are pleased to be made welcome here, but in the rush of battle and our hurried escape, I fear we missed your name.
Oh, confound me for an old fool. Bruni, son of Bane, at your service and your families. I'm captain of the Nordinbad Guard and a servant of Lord Gorin.
We traveled many leagues over many high mountains to reach this place. I know we traveled east, but beyond that, I am not certain where we may be.
Aye, it's east you've come. Clean over the Misty Mountains and along the length of the Grey Mountains. You've left the lands of Eriador behind. You're on the northern edge of the land of Rovanian now.
What can you tell me about the lord of these halls?
Gorin's a great leader. He'd have to be to hold Nordinbad together for so long, surrounded by enemies and starved for basic necessities as we are. There's not a dwarf here who wouldn't lay down his life for him.
We would be pleased to speak with Lord Gorin.
Just make your way past the door as you see yonder and you'll find him within. The guards have been instructed to let you pass.
I suspect I'm the first man to see the inside of these halls.
I am certain I am the first elf to do so.
А гном никак не прокомментировал. Ему все нормально. Так.
You should not keep the lord of these halls waiting.
Совет ясен. Поторопимся.
Here, sire, those I spoke of. Allow me to present a kinsman, Farron of Erebor, and also Andriel and Eridan, his companions. We succeeded in our task, and I live to tell of it, thanks only to their aid.
You are most welcome here, kinsman, and no less so your companions, be they man, elf, or eagle. Welcome all to Nordinbad, last hall of the Longbeards in the Grey Mountains. You have returned to me, my son and my oldest friend, whom already I mourned as lost. For this, you will forever have my gratitude and the hospitality of these halls. Know that this is not something lightly given, for never before have we allowed any but our own folk to pass these gates. And no eyes have gazed upon the hidden lake of Azanzaram, save those of our close kindred. Yet for what you have done, I will gladly lay aside our ancient oath of secrecy.
The lake is indeed lovely. Did your kin create it?
Nay, my ancestors discovered Azanzaram even as you see it. We have worked with care to enhance what we found. A chip here, a tap there, fashioning bridges, halls, and tunnels. But always, we have taken care to preserve the great gift we were given.
It is beautiful, and I am honored to behold it.
May I ask how it was you happened to be in so unlikely a place as Mount Gundabad? One does not go lightly into so foul a pit.
We were hunting a black-hearted servant of the enemy. He goes by the name of Agendour.
Agendour. We are familiar with that one. Curse his Blackheart.
He appeared before our gates some weeks past and called us to parley in the name of Sauron the Great, so he said.
A parley? For what purpose?
He demanded that we yield ourselves up to the mercy of Sauron, as if there was any mercy in the Dark Lord.
He lays claim to Nordinbad, telling us if we turn over our halls and riches without a fight, our lives will be spared, and we will be free to seek a new home elsewhere.
Of course, we would have nothing of that. When we defied him, he grew wrathful, threatening us with the fiery doom that overtook our ancestors.
Fiery doom. I wonder why he chose such words.
I fear he may have allied himself with the dragon Orgast who dwells in these parts. With such a beast at his command, we would have little hope of resisting him.
Dragons are wicked creatures, but proud. Could even Agendour command one to serve?
Perhaps not on his own account, but if he speaks for the Dark Lord, even Orgast would think twice before offending him.
Dragons are wicked creatures, and their greed knows no bounds. Agendour only has to name the right price.
Maybe we should go after this dragon before he comes after us.
Well, destroy Orgast? If only it were that simple. The attack on Gundabad would be a peaceful stroll around the lake in comparison. Nay, if it were so easy to slay dragons, there would be many more dwarves still dwelling in these mountains.
Urgost has never taken notice of us before. We rather hoped it would stay that way.
They say it does not pay to leave a live dragon out of your calculations if you live near one.
We can't let Agendour have such a beast under his command.
Even Imladris would be no haven against dragonfire. Where will we find Urgost?
You do not lack for courage, I will grant you. Yet we know not where the dragon dwells. No dwarf has discovered his lair and lived to tell of it.
Perhaps Radagast knows this secret, or can discover it. Seems there is little that happens in Wilderland that escapes his notice.
You speak of Radagast the Brown, one of the Astari, the Order of Wizards.
So you know him, do you?
We have never met, yet often I have heard him spoken of. He is said to be skilled in the lore of all herbs and beasts, especially birds. Do you know where he may be found?
He dwells within the forest of Mirkwood, away to the south. Perhaps your companion Belaram would know where to find him, for it is said that Radagast is a friend to the Lord of Eagles himself.
We should travel to Mirkwood. If Radagast knows as much as you say, it is certain to be worthwhile.
Indeed. But before you set out, please accept a token of our gratitude. Seek out my steward Galar. I have instructed him to open our vaults to you. I believe you may find something within that will be of service in the days ahead.
Отлично. Что ж, значит, нам позволено осмотреться.
I still can't believe I'm alive. I thought I would draw my last breath in the fetid air of Mount Gundabad. Mind you, I'm not complaining.
What will you and your people do now?
I'm afraid we're all out of tricks to play. All we can do is prepare our defenses, hunker down and wait for whatever the winds of war might blow our way.
Tell me of your father, Gorin. Is he a king?
King? Oh, no. He is merely the Lord of Nordinbad. We acknowledge Dane Ironfoot as the rightful king of the Longbeards. Not that he has any idea of our existence.
Someday you may be Lord of Nordinbad. Will you seek a reunion with your sundered kin when that day comes?
Secrecy has always preserved us here before, but it can't do so for much longer. We are a dwindling folk, and this war has only made that worse. Nordinbad is precious, but I see little point in leaving it empty. If we survive the days ahead, we will seek out our kin. My father sees the need for this as well. Were it not so, I wouldn't have dared bring you and your friends to our hidden halls.
What can you tell me of Bruni, the other dwarf who survived Mount Gundabad?
Bruni's the captain of our guard, the terror to the orcs of these mountains. He's been my father's best friend since long before I was born, and he taught me how to wield an axe, and what it means to serve.
Farewell, Audrey.
Так, здесь ход. Здесь. Даже любопытно.
You're a strange-looking creature. You must be the elf I've been hearing about. You look like a stiff wind could blow you over. But I suppose appearances can be deceiving. Are you here to buy something? I've an excellent stock of the best Nordinbad craftwork, so speak up. Time's a wasting.
You must need to travel far afield to find trade.
We've had a rough time of it here, I won't deny it. Mostly we managed some trade with the Bjornings, the men who live down south of us in the vales of the Anduin. They've good use for our metalwork, and they bring us foodstuffs in return. Otherwise, there'll be mushrooms for breakfast, mushrooms for lunch, and mushrooms for dinner. You wouldn't believe how many ways we've learned to cook mushrooms. That's enough jabbering. If you're not going to buy something, let me get back to my work.
Goran sent me to you. He said I should speak with you to receive a token of his gratitude.
Yes, yes. He may have mentioned it to me. It was rather too generous of him. Not that I don't appreciate what you did, but how does he expect me to increase our wealth by giving our best work away? Well, here you go. Take your pick.
Так, хорошо. Для начала хотел бы узнать, а что он такой недовольный?
Are you always this cheerful?
Well, let's see. We've got an orc army growing, a dragon hungry for dwarf snacks, and one of Sauron's lieutenants making threats. Pardon me while I break out in a song and dance. Now see here, I need to do some business. So how's about you buy something before I get downright grumpy?
Так.
Now here's a sight. I hear tell there was an elf come to visit. Word of you has spread like a beard on fire. Never seen an elf before. Had no idea your kind could be so fierce. But I hear you hit the enemy hard. Well done. So, how can I help you today?
Dwarves can be a secretive folk, especially when they guard a valuable secret. Could it be that you found Mithril here?
Aye, we've no such wealth as Mithril here. Not that I haven't dreamt of finding a vein of true silver. I work iron and a bit of ordinary silver or gold. A few gems here and there. Mostly we hide to escape the notice of the dragons. Bad blood between dwarves and dragons as well, you know. And then there's all the orcs. Ah, but I dream of a day when we could trade for finer goods. I've been working on a silver belt studded with crystal, with a special mount for a gem I crave above all others. The gem that comes from no mine.
What sort of gem would that be?
Pearls! The most perfect and beautiful of precious things. How they glimmer and gleam. I've hoarded a small handful of white pearls, but even those won't satisfy me for this belt. My dream of perfection is nothing less than the fabled Black Pearl. I've heard rumor of them, but I fear I'll never see one.
If I should have the good fortune to find one of these black pearls, I will bring it to you.
Mighty good of you. You'll find me generous should you return. I mean, when you return. Anything else I can do for you?
How great are your skills as a smith?
I'm no braggart, but I'll put my skills up against any smith, dwarf, elf, or man. You may think I don't know much, being set apart from others of my craft. But I'll tell you a little secret. My grandsires go back all the way to the smiths that worked alongside the great elven smith, Celebrimbor himself. In the days of ancient Eregion, there was a great friendship between elves and dwarves. We've passed down skills from forgotten times. I know runes of power and other secrets that give my weapons and armor a hidden strength you'll not find elsewhere. You won't complain about my work.
You speak of Celebrimbor, the Ringmaker?
None was a greater craftsman of jewels and forger of metals than Celebrimbor, who was Lord of Irigian. Close friend he was to Narvi, the great Stonemaster, and to my grandsires. He even made 7 rings of power for the dwarves. It was Celebrimbor who knew that Sauron had betrayed the elves by making 1 ring. He heard the enemy declare himself master over all. He was killed in the first war against Sauron, and many of his secrets were lost. Narvi and his kin were lost as well. Only one of my ancestors escaped to carry the tale. So it's been told from grandsire to me.
Irigian fell long before I was born. What do you know of it?
The lore passed down from me grandsires is little enough. That Irigian lay west of the Misty Mountains near Moria. That the elves of Irigian were of a kind known as Noldor, and were clever craftsmen. The Noldor didn't know in the beginning that Sauron was evil. Sauron came to Irigian and taught them how to forge rings of power. But after Sauron was revealed, he invaded Irigian and destroyed it. Nearly 5,000 years ago, that was. Doubt there's much left of the place now. But Sauron's fixing to do the same thing all over again. Even here in the far north.
That odor, is that your beard burning?
Well, hard to be a smith without getting a few sparks in your beard. What do you expect when you're working with a hammer and forging hot metal? They've taken to calling me Burry Birdbeard. Used to have a beard down to my belt. Well, shorter is safer. Long as you keep a bucket of water handy, there's nothing to worry about.
Так, хорошо. Быстро починим. Короче, где вооружиться, надо тоже немножко отдельно. Отлично, надо починить. Оружие... А, что он такой серый? Хорошо. С кем мы еще можем поговорить? Сюда нам пока еще... Ой. Пока еще нельзя. Очень интересно. А, это выход.
I never thought to find such comforts within walls of cold stone.
Ну, что тут сказать? Гномы? О, зеркало. Так, ну что ж. Перекинемся, наверное, с местным повелителем. Парой слов напоследок. И уже тогда отправимся куда следует.
My mind is still uneasy about your plan to deal with Urgast. But if you are set on this course, then Radagast may help you find the dragon's lair. Seek for the wizard in Mirkwood.
What can you tell me of Mirkwood?
Precious little. The forest stretches on for endless leagues to the south, and each mile is darker and more perilous than the next. My folk are uneasy in the shadows of those trees. Although we go there sometimes for timber, we never pass far into the wood.
Is Is there anything more you can tell me regarding dragons?
Vile creatures, as wicked as they are terrible. They drove most of my people from these mountains with their deprivations. Curse them all. You'd best keep your wits about you if you intend to face Urgast.
Do you know Radagast well?
Not well, but we've had some dealings with him in the past. He seems an honest enough wizard, though you would be wise not to harm any birds or beasts while anywhere near his home. He calls all wild creatures friends, save for those who serve the Dark Lord.
Our course leads to Mirkwood and Radagast. Farewell.
Хорошо, побежали. Так. Возможно, даже пару слов с Орлом перекинемся, прежде чем лететь. Кстати, Бруни.
I can't believe what I've heard. You're actually setting out to find the dragon? We spent many long years trying not to be found by one. Ah, but then the three of you did walk into Mount Gundabad alone, and you lived to tell the tale. So if anyone has a chance against Urgast, it might be you. Ordinarily, I'd be dead set against Hryelin of a dragon. It seems Agendaur has already done that. So I'll just wish you luck, and let it go at that.
My thanks, Captain. May fortune favor Nordinbad as well. Until we meet again.
Mirkwood is a place I prefer to fly over, not into, but we are ready to go.
We must hope Radagast can tell us where to find Urgast. Have you ever faced a dragon before?
No, that is a risk I have gladly avoided. One does not willingly seek out a dragon, unless there is no choice.
You know Radagast well.
The Brown Wizard has been a close friend of the Eagles since he first came to Middle-earth and settled into the forest that is now called Mirkwood, even before it came to have that dark name. That was long before I was born, but I have visited with him many times in his home at Rosgobel when I would bring him news from afar. But I have not seen him since he abandoned Rosgobel.
Radagast lived there for centuries. Why would he abandon it?
He was gone from his home before I could ask. But there has been a growing threat and darkness in the south of Mirkwood. I believe Rosgobel is no longer safe, even for a wizard. But fear not. I know Radagast's favored places in the north of Mirkwood. We will find him, or I will bring you to a place you are likely to find him at the very least.
Then we must travel to Mirkwood.
We will be ready.
Интересно. Ну что ж, отправимся уже в следующий раз. Ну а на этом пока что все.